Hi, I'm Chris Dorsey, President and CEO of Disciples Home Missions. We recently launched Disciples Mission Hub as a way of helping disciples connect with organizations to engage in local missions, as a way of helping people to understand some of the root causes associated with society's most challenging issues, and as a way of being the body of Christ together, meaning learning from each other, inspiring each other, or just sharing the good news about what disciples are doing all over North America. In addition to launching it, we've also been doing what we call mission pop-ups. It's where we visit congregations and learn about the amazing work that disciples are doing to make a difference in their communities.
Particularly, this congregation was intriguing because it is a dual congregation. We're both United Church of Christ and Disciples of Christ. When one Disciples of Christ church closed in Santa Ana, had come to kind of an end of its ministry, rather than just closing completely, they dreamed of living into the vision of unity and were connected with Church Foothills, and the two came together and dreamed of a new way of being community.
The first time I walked into the church service here, the pastor stood up and he said, "Everyone is welcome here." But he didn't just say that. He identified everyone. You know, like gender, race, ability, all the way through. He said it. And I'd never heard anyone from the pulpit to say it in that way. And I was ready to join this church.
We had a grandchild in the church at a very young age come out as trans, and in a time when there wasn't a lot of conversation. This is over 20 years ago. And the church, rather than sort of ignoring this or thinking that's weird, pastor and others led the church in an intentional conversation of how do we understand this? How do we support this family? How do we support this child? How do we be a church that really lives into this image of inclusion and welcome at the table?
Justice ministry has been what I like, what I wanted to do coming to this church, and seeing the spirituality and the generosity of our congregation has just been paramount.
I'm a single dad with an adult son who has Down syndrome, so inclusion is kind of near and dear to my heart. One of the things we're doing right now is in an effort to reach more individuals that are in the congregation with special needs. We've started a care group for those parents and family members who care for those individuals.
I find myself in the position of being a caregiver for my husband. And it's been just extremely personally supportive for me. And opportunity in a safe place to share needs. It's been extremely beneficial.
I think the main purpose of a caregiver support group is to just be there for one another. You know, when you're a caregiver, you go through things differently than in other parts of your life and relationship. And as that relationship changes, you just have a need to be able to talk about those things.
The other big visible piece too is our preschool. This is a way for us to listen to our community and to be open to our community and get to know people that we might not normally get to know.
Well, I'm really excited because we just got involved with the UC Master Gardener program, and we're the first preschool to be accepted into their Seed to Supper program. And that's a program that works with the greater community that teaches families how to raise their own vegetables, provide their own food. We're teaching people how to garden. Kids are really happy to eat vegetables they grew, you know.
Faith in Action is a justice ministry that, while we attempt to study history as it affects equality, equity, inclusion, we try to put that into action with collaborations with different groups, especially within the community. Our outreach has included our local schools.
This community school program came because one of our church members is a school board member for Orange Unified School District. We've also developed a relationship with a school board member of Tustin Unified School District, and I think it just came with dialogue with them and an opportunity where they recognize some needs, where these community schools have programs, they have funding, they do certain things, but there are also gaps. and even the impact of a church. Even if we don't have a lot of money, for instance, or a lot of time, even there are gaps where even a small amount of resources can make a difference.
We're basically observing to know what the needs of the community are, because we don't really have a clue. I don't know what it's like to be Latina, a single mom, trying to raise my kids, et cetera. I don't have a clue. But the school has a better idea, and they are a great resource for us to make those kind of contacts.
We've already raised over $2,000, and $1,000 will go to each school, which very initially will help them purchase food. So when they have a community school meeting with parents and with teachers and counselors to share resources, to build community, to let folks kind of get to know each other and trust, that they can also say, hey, we have a local church that provided a meal, so you all don't have to make a choice. Do we stay at home and eat or come? And so that's a really cool thing. But then to also see them say, hey, we would love a representative from your church to come and be present, which gives that opportunity to build relationship, to make it where we begin to know neighbors and neighbors begin to know us, and we see what other needs are and how else we could be hands-on in the community.